Hi, I'm Addison, and today I'm going to be showing you all of the books I own currently. I do have 2 books on that are shipping right now, but they are not going to be included in this video just because they're not here with me presently. I will be telling you basically what these books are about. No spoilers in this video, don't worry. Some of these books I have not read or are not completed or I DNF'd, which is one of them. Which means do not finish, by the way. So basically I just want to throw this out here. My favorite author is Colleen Hoover. So half of the books I own are by her. I have 12 books here with me. I have read more than this, but some of them I borrowed from my friends, but that's not really what this video is about. The first book I'm going to be talking about is a very, very popular one. Ignore these tabs. I'm going to cut them whenever I'm done with them. But It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover. This book is a very popular one on Book Talk or BookTube. A lot of people talk about it. It is getting turned into a movie, and there's a sequel for this coming out in October, which I'm so excited to read. This book was probably this is definitely my top 3 favorite. It's about this girl named Lily who moved to Boston after she graduated from college, where she meets this gorgeous, is what it says on the back, neurosurgeon named Ryle Kincaid. Ryle is a very arrogant, stubborn type of person, but he's also a very sensitive, brilliant, and has a soft spot for Lily. Things are going almost too good to be true whenever her first love named Atlas shows up out of the blue, and yeah, you kind of get to see where that goes from there. Her relationship with Ryle is now threatened because of Atlas showing up. It's very interesting. Whenever you start reading it, it's hard to put down. You want to know what's about to happen. This book is split up into 2 parts. Sorry, these tabs are really annoying me, so they're probably annoying you too. I'm in the middle of annotating, and that's why. I've read the beginning of this 3 times, tried to reread it, but I am rereading it right now. There's a part 2 in here. I gave that a 5-star, but that's besides the point. I definitely do recommend this to anybody who's trying to start reading these types of books. I think it's a fiction for sure. Yeah. Okay, the next book, I'm gonna go through all my Colleen Hoover books first because they're just in this stack together. The next book is Ugly Love. Oh, I like this cover. This is the first book I tabbed, so there's those, but none of my other books are tabbed, so it's okay. But probably it's really good. I recommend it. I can't really say what I was gonna say because I don't know what I was gonna say. This book can definitely get you to cry. If you want a tearjerker, this is definitely one of them. It's about this girl named Tate Collins who, when she's moving in with her older brother, she meets his best friend Miles Archer, and Miles doesn't want love, and she's just not at the place for it. She doesn't have the time, so that leaves the sexual relationship by itself. They decide that they're gonna make a deal, leave everything to that. He has 2 rules: don't expect a future and never ask about the past. It's actually supposed to be reversed, never ask about the past, don't expect a future, but oh well. I love Miles Archer with my whole heart. One of my book boyfriends. Love you, babe. I love how Colleen always has a meaning behind her covers. You can probably see this cover. I'm not gonna tell you what it means because they're spoilers, just like It Ends With Us. The cover is a spoiler, so we're not gonna tell you. It is such a good book. I definitely do recommend this to anybody looking for who's interested in romances or likes Colleen Hoover. This is definitely one of the books you should read. I have been asked a few times what Colleen Hoover book to start with. This one is the first one I read, which I'm happy I read this one first because it's the most popular, and then I read Ugly Love, and I believe I read November 9th after, Regretting, like, you know, just like went in order like that. But Ugly Love or November 9th is probably my favorite Colleen Hoover book, so I definitely suggest those to somebody to read if you're looking for one of her books. Next by Colleen Hoover is Regretting You. This is not one of her most popular books, but it is amazing. It's just like Ugly Love, told in dual point of view. There's two romances. It's about this mother named Morgan and her daughter Clara, who don't really get along the best. After a tragic accident happens, they are stuck with just themselves, and Morgan finds comfort in the person she least expects, while Clara finds comfort in the person that she's forbidden to see. Clara is 16 years old in this story. Morgan was 16 when she had her daughter, so she's like 32. A very young mom. This book really like tells the point of views of a mom and a daughter during mourning, or like very hard events to get through, especially whenever you're not like at the part where you talk to your parents about something. I don't know. This is probably my fastest read I've ever read. Could not put it down when I started it, except I was at school, so I had to put it down. But trust me, every second I was not learning something at school, I was reading this. I finished it in one day, which is actually really impressive, you know, when you have school that day. But it was very good and very underrated. I definitely suggest this to you to read. Once again, cover. Yeah. There is one part of the book that I wish I did know the answer to, but I can't say that because it's a spoiler, so I'm gonna be nice and move on. Next Colleen book, I have 3 more after this one, is All Your Perfects. Is this one of her first? Oh, definitely not. It's one of her more recent ones. It is a shorter book, I think. Oh, it's like 300 pages. This cover, I don't really think has a significant meaning, but that's okay. It's told in 2 different times, then and now. Then being the beginning of her relationship, and then now being 7 years later while they're married. It's kind of like a messed up marriage trope. The one thing that might end everything is the thing that also might bring them together. Quinn met the love of her life outside of her fiance's door while he was cheating inside with Graham's girlfriend at the time. I guess they run into each other after that happens too, after they talk to each other. And they fall in love, they get married. You get to see how her struggles are kind of messing up her marriage, while she's also wanting him to understand her. This is one of the more recent ones that I read. Took 2 days to read it. Not surprised because I literally love Colleen so much. I will read like any of her books. I know I've said I love her so many times in this, but like my favorite author ever. It says, can a love story with a perfect beginning survive a lifetime between 2 imperfect people? If that doesn't get you to read this book, what will? So good. Recommend. Okay, so this is the last book I read, actually. I just finished it like the other day. It's called Confess. This is definitely one of her more quieter, underrated books. She has a lot of those. Like, a few of her books get a lot of attention, and then the others, like, you don't really see a lot about. The first thing that you notice whenever you pick this book up is that there's paintings in the middle of the book. Why? You gotta read to find out. This story is about a girl named Auburn Reed who lost a person who was very, very important to her. And she moved to Texas in search of a job. She finds this art studio in Dallas. She helps out one day, not realizing that she's gonna find this guy named Owen. She takes the risk and starts talking to this guy. She then finds out that he has a huge secret. He's like trying so hard not to let it come out. And also realizes the one thing that she really likes is also the thing that can tear everything apart. It's dual point of view. I don't really know how much to say about it. It's Colleen. Read it, please. 2 more Colleen books. These 2 I have not read yet. There's Maybe Someday. I've read like the first 2 chapters actually. It's about this 22-year-old girl who finds out that her boyfriend of 2 years has been cheating on her with her best friend and roommate. And then she finds herself attracted to this mysterious, attractive neighbor who is rich. She really loves the way that he plays his music, writes songs to the chords that he creates that don't have lyrics to them already. They find each other, seeing each other as friends at first, later leading to possibly more. Don't know, I have not read it. I don't like covers with real people on them, but for her, it's okay. Yeah, there's a music paper here, so I guess the music is a very big thing in their relationship. Is that an engagement ring I see? I'm overanalyzing, but that kind of looks like an engagement ring. Okay, last one. Very, very popular book of hers. Verity. It's about this girl named Lowen who is struggling to be an author when she gets the deal to complete remaining books in a successful series that Jeremy Crawford, wife Verity Crawford, is unable to finish due to an injury. As she's writing this story, she finds out something tragic happened one night in Verity's family. She has to keep it hidden from Jeremy, and knowing that the contents of this manuscript can already basically, Lowen figures out some secrets and has to keep the manuscript a secret from Jeremy, knowing that the contents could devastate the already grieving father. But as her feelings for the married man intensify, she recognizes the ways that she could benefit if he were to read the wife's words. I assume means tear apart his marriage. And it says, after all, no matter how devoted Jeremy is to his injured wife, a truth this horrifying could make it impossible for him to continue loving her. This is apparently a very chilling, creepy story. I want to read it. I get scared easily, but I'm going to read it. I just have not gotten far. Okay, now moving on from Colleen Hoover. Okay. The Spanish Love Deception. Oh my god. Okay, this is like my comfort book. If I ever need, like if I read something that makes me really upset, go to this right here. Wonderful. Love you. I love Aaron Blackford with all my heart. He is the best man to ever exist. Basically, this girl named Catalina needs a date to her sister's wedding because she's been lying to her family, saying that she has an American boyfriend after her previous relationship ended. She finds herself making a deal with Aaron Blackford, a co-worker, somebody she's not very fond of. He steps in, he offers it himself, like literally the first words are, "I'll take you to the wedding." while they're at the wedding, they find each other getting more and more comfortable with them, like, you know. And yeah, you kind of get to see where that goes. This is told one point of view. It's a pretty long book, I'm not gonna lie. Like, and the cover, look how cute this cover is. I'm like obsessed. I don't want to put this down, but I kind of have to. Ugh. Next is kind of a turn from my normal books. It's The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. Sorry, there's stuff on it. It's been sitting in my mom's nightstand because I'm trying to get her to read it, and apparently she might have spilled the drink near it. It's okay. I'm not gonna be mad at her. She's the one who paid for it. So The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo is basically the story of this now older woman who was a Hollywood icon named Evelyn Hugo. She is finally ready to tell the truth behind her 7 marriages, but only to one specific writer. The writer's name is Monique. She also, like, you hear her point of view of things too. It's really cool getting to hear, like, just this woman's story. I don't think it's real, but it is based off of somebody. She had 7 marriages, basically, as you can tell. All of them ended in different things, or in different ways. You also get to see her story of becoming famous in Hollywood, starting at, I think, 14 years old, like, trying to get herself there. Evelyn unspools a tale of ruthless ambition, unexpected friendship, and great forbidden love. But as it comes to a conclusion, it becomes clear her life intersects with Monique's own tragic and irreversible ways. Basically, Evan said that she would only do this story if Monique is the person writing it. Monique figures that out and realizes there has to be something behind it. Like, why does she only want this girl who has never written anything big or important? She literally works for, like, a magazine. So you get to see that truth uncover as well. Okay, 3 more books. Next is my DNF'd book, Did Not Finish, People We Meet on Vacation. I heard it's a very good book. It's just, it's super hard for me to get into personally. Well, actually I'm halfway through, so I might just, like, make myself read it tonight. This cover is super bright. Like, under this light, it's like literally. So basically it's about this girl, or this friendship of Poppy and Alex. They had, like, literally nothing in common, but they did live in the same town, meeting each other in college later on. They are best friends. They go on summer trips every year, and then something happens. They stop talking until 2 years later. She ends up texting him and, like, hey, we should go on a vacation. Like, they haven't spoken for 2 years after, like, 11 years of friendship, I think. 2 best friends, 10 summer trips, 1 last chance to fall in love. Next, beach read. I've read 1 or 2 chapters, maybe 3 of this. Okay, so this book is about Augustus Everett, who is a literary fiction author, and January Andrews, who writes best-selling romance. They are polar opposites, but they have one thing in common, that's that they're spending 3 months living in neighboring beach houses. They both have writer's block also. One thing leads to another, and then they strike up a deal to switch what they write about. Augustus is going to be writing a summer book, or spend the summer writing something happy. January will pen the great American novel. She will take him on field trips worth of any rom-com montage, and he will take her to an interview of a surviving member of the backwoods death cult, obviously. Yeah. So basically, that's what the story's about. That's all I really know about the book. I don't know how much else I can say. Sorry, I don't talk a lot about books. Okay, one last book, which is also the first book I or the book that got me into reading again, and that's You Deserve Each Other. It's not a super popular book. I think I saw like a few TikToks about them, or about this book, from searching it up, not even like just in general saw them. It's the wedding of the year for all of the wrong reasons. So it's about Naomi and Nicholas, who are the perfect couple. Secretly, whenever like behind closed doors, they don't get along as well as people think they do. Neither of them want to actually get married, as you're told, but Naomi can't just like tell him that, because then she'll have to pay for this extravagant wedding that she doesn't even want. But if they do get married, then she won't be in debt. They end up sabotaging each other, doing some pranks, and seeing who could annoy each other to the point that they'll surrender the relationship. They have nothing to lose. They're finally being themselves. In fact, they're having so much fun getting on each other's nerves that it starts to feel like something else entirely. So it's kind of like a broken relationship, you know? Trope. It's actually really cute. It's just not my favorite book in the world. I do think it deserves more hype, you know? Oh my god, ew. Look at how broken this spine is. I hate that so much. Yeah, I definitely think it deserves more attention. It should be talked about more. Also, this author, I like the style she wrote in. I don't remember really. It was all the way back in March. It's been months, since in like 4 months. But I'm pretty sure it took me a second to get into, but that also could just be because it was my first book back to reading. If you are looking for a cute contemporary romance, I do suggest this book though. It's very fun and cute. So that's all the books I currently own at this exact moment. I have read more than this. I read like November 9th, Reminders of Him, Love Hypothesis, you know, some other like popular books. But I don't own them. I'm gonna eventually buy them though. I just need to get a job. Yeah, hope you guys enjoyed and hope this video was helpful for your next book buying adventure.